Hey everybody, it's Bruno on MB, where it all can't be serious, and I'm here with my good friend, Joe Quattrucci.
Thank you, Bruno, for having me here
Did I say that right?
You bet.
100%, I know I can say those names.
You did a really good job at it, actually.
Yeah, it's the words like Smith that I have a hard time with, right? But from Turnkey Renovation, Home Renovations, Joe, you've been here before, and backed by popular demand. And we're talking about picking the right contractor for home renovations. We get right to it. Number one thing people should do.
I think people have to do their research when they're looking for a contractor.
Okay, so research, okay, let's talk about research. Let's be honest, right? Nowadays, people do research. All they do is they Google, right? Or as, my parents will say, the Google. They go onto the Google and they check, and 14,000 people say that Bill's Renovations get 4 stars. Is that the type of research you're talking about?
Well, Bruno, that's definitely a part of it. But, throwing caution to the wind, when clients look at Google and they see, let's say, a company that has 100 Google reviews, they have to kind of take that with a grain of salt, because to get 100 reviews is, in my opinion, very difficult. So you have to go through those reviews, actually read them, and look for information of like specifics, like what kind of projects did they go through, were there any challenges in these reviews that the client talked about, and how did the contractor resolve those issues. So you kind of have to go through those reviews. Don't just look at my point is, don't just look at the number and think, oh, this is a great company, they got 100 reviews.
Yeah.
Well, no, you got to look through those reviews, read through them, and make sure the information is actually pertinent.
Well, one of the things I learned about this Google review, and it's not just Google, it's Yelp and all these guys, right? So let's just say I look up your home renovation, right? And I see Turnkey, and you have 10 5 out of 5s, right? Then when I'm talking to you, I'm going to say, hey, did you realize you got a 5 out of 5 by our great production person, Arden? There's a name, Arden. Can you give me his phone number? Can I call him? Right? Because what are the chances that in home renovation, this is not a burger, right? Or a sandwich that you picked up somewhere. Like, this is a renovation. They would remember who Arden was, right? Definitely. So that's one thing that I would do. But what else is involved in research? Like, there's Google, there's like you said, challenging on the reviews.
Yeah. So
what kind of other references can you do? Research.
If I was a client and I'm looking for the right contractor, I would do first. I would actually look at, like you said, the referrals, right? So start there. If you have somebody you trust that can refer a contractor to you that did a similar scope of work project, start there.
Right.
If you don't have that, go to Google. Search out Google. I choose maybe 6 companies that you feel could be a right fit for you. And then I would set up a phone interview with them. Okay. Set that up, give them a call, ask them some pertinent questions. So you could ask them, are you fully licensed? Will you provide copies of your licenses? Do they have a build process or a planning process? How do they organize their jobs? That's important. And do they have a warranty? And if so, what's entailed in that warranty? What's backing that warranty?
Right. So let's go back to you, Joe. To me, you look like you're 21 years old, but you've been doing this a long time. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been in construction probably over 25 years.
Hopefully not the same job. That one
same
finished?
Job, no, back and forth
here
and there.
Okay, so that one finished. The one 25 years ago, okay, all right.
But I started Turnkey over 14 years ago. So,
holy smokes.
So Turnkey's been around for over 14 years.
And specializing in mostly?
We specialize in home renovations, so additions, main floors, full homes, and basement developments.
Well, I just honestly didn't know you were there that long. That's pretty impressive. So you were talking about license. Obviously, you only use licensed people. What's the risk of not using licensed people, I guess? I'm not saying you or your risk, but people kind of go, you know what, I just want to do my kitchen and there's electrical or something like that, and I'm going to call my friend Jimmy to do it, and
Well, the risk would be that if something goes wrong, then insurance won't cover it. So the money that you save there will probably be negated after you have to fix something, or the insurance won't cover you.
Yeah,
the headaches.
It's a different game, right, Joe? When you're, you know, a light doesn't work and you just rewire it from here to here, or something goes wrong, okay. But when you're tying it into the panel or changing the service, I'm sure you've seen nightmares of people that did that before, haven't you?
Yeah, and you know, it comes down to people, you know, sometimes they want to save $1. So they have the best intentions, they just want to save $1, and then everybody's allowed to save $1. But there's certain things that you shouldn't try to save too much on, because it could spell disaster afterward.
Yeah.
Especially hiring the right contractor.
And so number one, do your research, right? And number two?
Well, number two is, so after you've picked, let's say 6 from Google, you've asked them those questions, now you're going to filter that down to 3. So pick the top 3 that you think would be a good fit, and then invite them to your house. You don't want to invite all of them at the same time, that'd be like a little bit awkward. But you know what I mean?
Try that actually.
Put them on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're first, you're second, you're third, have them lined up there. Oh my gosh, no, that'd be a little bit weird. But so basically you'd have them over to your house, and then that's a great opportunity now to discuss your renovation, discuss your vision. Also, you know, talk about maybe the challenges that this renovation may have. So after meeting them, you should have a pretty good idea of who you think you could be able to work with. So after that, then basically, you know, you're going to look over their references. So that would be kind of like the third thing. Right. So the third thing would be look over their references. And, you know, for turnkey, in our initial sales meeting, we bring our information package. And part of that info package is our reference sheet. And we provide 6 references for our clients. Okay, and we do this for a reason. So we've got client references from 5-6 years ago. We've got references from maybe this current year. Then we also have references of clients that have done multiple jobs with us. Right. So when our clients or potential clients are doing their research and calling and emailing our past clients, they're going to get a really good idea of who we are, what kind of company we are to work with. And, you know, so I would recommend that if you're asking for references, like get more than 3. You know, find out what the scope of work was with that reference and how old are they, right? Because we also guarantee our stuff for 5 years.
Wow, so I was going to get to that. That's 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, so we want our clients to know, okay, well, how did Joe's renovation 5 years ago last? You know, is the product still good? Is it still standing up? Then they get a good answer, or they get a good idea.
Well, and you get good references if you're given 5 years, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you still want to give us a reference after 5 years, I think that's a pretty good.
I think I put it in as the fourth thing is you talked about this thing that people kind of, I don't know even if they forget about it or they omit, because now we're in a very digital, a good reference, not a good reference, or review or whatever, but you talk about gut feeling. Walk us through that. I really like that conversation we had.
Yeah, so I mean, you're going to go through that whole process, right? Either it's a referral or it's a Google search, and then you're going to invite them over to your house. But after you do all that, you know, in the end, it really comes down to your gut feeling. I believe in that. Of all the times that I've never followed my gut, I've gotten into trouble. So, you know, people have to start trusting their gut more, and especially when it comes to picking a contractor, it's no different than picking the color of your car or picking a contractor. If it feels right, then you choose that contractor. Because here's the thing too. So if you're looking to do, say, a main floor renovation, okay, and you've got 3 contractors coming there to meet you. After your research, you should be interviewing on site a contractor, the 3 contractors that are all similar, so the similar size, similar experience, right? For a big, large-scale renovation, you're not going to have a guy that runs his business out of a truck, and then another guy that's medium-sized, and another guy that only does commercial stuff. So they're all going to be somewhat similar. So the cost there shouldn't be that much difference, right? So that's why we say, well, You know, if you have similar guys meeting you there, in the end, it's your gut feeling. Who do you think you're going to be able to work with and is going to be able to bring your vision to reality?
So let me ask you something. What was your gut feeling about doing this interview?
Oh, I was like, awesome. Like, this guy's Italian. Great match.
All right, I like that. That's good. I was a little worried about that. I know the gut feeling about Arten is so because he's the great one. We call him the great one.
Okay.
But no, but gut feeling, it's interesting. You can't measure it sometimes. You just kind of like, I didn't like their license, the great reference, the blah blah blah. But you know, a friend of mine does drywall, back home, and he comes in and boy, he's so creative. And sometimes you want to work with somebody who's a little bit more creative than more structured because he gets better ideas. And it's that gut feeling, say, this is going to turn out the way I want it to turn out, right? And usually it's a family decision. So you kind of have to make more than one person happy, if you know what I mean. Okay, so how do they get in touch with you? I know we have a link under here.
Yeah. So basically, the best thing to do is probably go to our website, turnkey-renovations.ca. And alternatively, they can call our office at 403-685-2488 and speak to one of our team members and set up a consultation with us.
Or see one of your trucks pass by and just wave you down. That's
perfect.
That's another one, right?
Just don't jump on the road.
Yeah, no. Well, at the crosswalk.
Because I might be on my phone.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm here with Joe. We're going to be coming back for another episode here soon, and we're going to be talking about some other stuff like licensing and some fun stuff, right? Permits. So thanks again, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Well, you know what? That's pretty much all the time we have for this episode today. Thank you for tuning in with us. And you know what? Make sure you subscribe to our MegaPixx media channel so you will never miss an episode. And also, you can follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram. We have content almost every day. So thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you guys soon.